Yeah, perfect. It does sound like Vivian will be joining us shortly, but we'll go ahead and get started. Mr. Mayor, we are live and ready when you are.
Okay, sounds good. We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. It's a regular meeting of the Seldovia City Council, Monday, November 28th, 2022. Time is 6:01 p.m. We'll go ahead and do roll call. Keithley?
Here.
Sweat?
Here.
And Rojas is not joined yet. Kennedy?
Here.
Swick?
Here.
Peyton? And I see she has not joined us yet either. So we'll show Rojas and Peyton is currently absent. And then until they join, we do have 4 council members in attendance. So we do have a quorum. And Heidi, if you want to go ahead and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. Okay, as of now, we have no excused absences. Agenda approval. We'll go ahead and look for a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to approve tonight's agenda by Sweat. We have a second by Swick. Any further discussion on tonight's agenda before we vote? Okay, seeing none, we'll go ahead and vote on the approval of tonight's agenda. All those in favor, Keithley,
Aye.
Sweat,
Aye.
Kennedy,
Aye.
and Swick.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Vote of 4 in the affirmative and 2 absent. Okay, item E, consent agenda. All items on the consent agenda are approved with a single motion, no discussion, and 1 vote. A council member may request to remove any item for discussion and a separate vote. Items removed from the consent agenda will be placed under new business. Heidi, did you have any changes or comments you needed to make on the consent agenda before you go through it?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. On resolution 2321, there are 2 clerical errors. Line 38, and so this is on page 30 of your packet. Line 38 should state 2023 instead of 2022. And line 52 under November should state that the meeting will be held on the 27th, not the 28th.
Okay, so both just simple clerical errors.
Correct. It says above, on each item, it says above the correct date. So it's just fixing that.
Yep.
So line 38, the 2022, and then the November, it says if needed, a meeting will be held on the 28th. It should say 27th.
Okay, yep, no problem. So if everyone just takes note of that. Okay, and I'll go ahead and read the consent agenda real quick. Item 1, approval of minutes. We have none. Item 2, ordinance introduction will be ordinance 23-12, a non-code ordinance of the City Council of the City of Seldovia, Alaska, amending the fiscal year 2023 water and sewer special revenue funds budget. Recommended public hearing will be on 12/12, and this will be found on page 5 of your packet. And then item 3A will be resolution 23-21, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Seldovia establishing the 2023 regular meeting schedule for the Seldovia City Council and the Seldovia Planning Commission. That'll be found on page 30 of your packet. And as noted, the 2 line item changes that Heidi just pointed out that were date issues. So those are the items tonight on the consent agenda. Does any member at this time wish to remove and discuss any of those separately? And I'll make a note that Vivian has joined us in the meeting. Welcome, Vivian.
Yep, thank you.
Okay, and I don't see that anyone is raising their hand to have anything removed. So we'll go ahead and look for a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve tonight's
ahead.
consent agenda.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Rojas to approve tonight's consent agenda. We have a second by Kennedy. Any additional discussion before we vote? Okay, we'll go ahead and vote on the approval of tonight's consent agenda. All those in favor, Keithley,
Aye.
Sweat,
Aye.
Rojas, Kennedy,
Aye.
Swick.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes with 5 in the affirmative and 1 absent. Okay, item F, mayoral proclamations, none. Item G, public presentation prior notice. I don't believe we have anyone. Item H, public presentation for items not on the agenda. Heidi, is there anyone from the public that wishes to speak tonight under item H, public presentation?
I'm not seeing any hands raised at this time, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Item I, committee and advisory board reports. We have none that I see. Item J, administrative reports, none. Item K, public hearings. Item K1, ordinance 23-11, a non-code ordinance of the city council of the city of Seldovia, amending language in ordinance 84-19 to include provisions concerning insurance coverage, risk management, and liability. This was introduced on 11/14, and this will be found on page 33 of your packet. And we'll go ahead and have staff lead us off here.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. So I know this seems kind of like a repeat. Council did pass ordinance 2308. Let me see if I can find that date real quick. Month and a half ago. Ish. So sorry that would have been beginning of October. That ordinance was passed, which amended the language for the Seldovia, for the establishment of the Seldovia Arts Council per ordinance 84-19. In the discussion, passing ordinance 2308, there was an amendment provided that removed the language and public officials liability coverage that was discussed because our insurance does not provide for that option. And even though it was discussed when the motion was made, the amendment wasn't included. So the ordinance 2308 as it stands includes that verbiage, which is not something that the city can offer. And because of the timeline that this was discovered after the ordinance 2308 was passed, we had to present a new ordinance 2311 that just simply strikes out that verbiage. So with that, that's what 2311 does. It will keep the language from 2308, except for those 4 words.
Okay, sounds good. Go ahead and open it up to council for any questions or comments on ordinance 23-11.
Mr. Mayor, I just have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Vivian.
Yeah, if I could be, has the Art Council been notified of that change?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else from council? Okay, we'll go ahead and see if anyone from the public wishes to weigh in on ordinance 23-11 tonight.
No hands from the public at this time, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, we'll go ahead and bring it back to council for ordinance 23-11. For the changes that were outlined under section 3, under section 1 of the amendment, striking the 4 words "and public officials' liability." Any further discussion? Okay, we'll go ahead and look for a motion to approve ordinance 23-11 then.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 23-11.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Kennedy to approve ordinance 23-11. Second by Rojas. Any further discussion before we vote? Okay, we'll go ahead and vote on the approval of ordinance 23-11. All those in favor, Keithley,
Aye.
Sweat,
Aye.
Rojas,
Aye.
Kennedy,
Aye.
Swick.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes with a vote of 5 in the affirmative and 1 absent. Okay, item L, unfinished business, none. Item M, new business, resolution M1. Resolution 23-22, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Seldovia adopting the Seldovia City Council priorities for calendar year 2023. And this will be found on page 37 of your packet. And Heidi, I'll let you take it away.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So Seldovia City Council held its annual priorities retreat on November 2nd, 2022. And discussion was held on their top 3 small, medium, and large priorities. I hope that I had them listed clearly on page 38. And ask for council consideration if there are any other changes or anything that wasn't adjusted as it needed to be. But with this change, it just added language to the improvement of city finances overall, the large priority number 1. Large priority number 2 was defined as a priority to secure the 20% local match for Block Street and raw water transmission line appropriations funding. Large priority 3 is just the future of Jack Block, which was what was discussed, to leave that broad and see where that takes the council. Medium priority was the improved broadband internet was moved up from small to medium, and language was included for communication capability as well, and that is in partnership with Seldovia Village Tribe. That's something that is a regional priority for both the tribe, Seldovia Village Tribe, and the City of Seldovia, that was identified as a priority. Land Use Management Plan 2.0, which is developing a housing options plan, and it can also include wetlands and parks plan, etc. Different things to be incorporated in the land use management plan of just where's that plan going? How can we utilize it to make things happen for the future? And number 3 is that secure a positive outcome for the future of the value added building. Small priority number 1, the continued AMHS advocacy was moved from number 3 to number 1. Obtain a Seldovia Village, sorry, not Seldovia Village, a City of Seldovia, Seldovia Volunteer Fire Department, Fire Chief, and provide more department and volunteer support. That could be in the form of advertisements, job descriptions, etc. And then the 3rd is retaining and promoting Seldovia's small charm, is what it was before. And I left that language there because there was a little bit of confusion of what that meant and how broad to make it or how tight to make it. So I did put an asterisk to provide support to encourage visitors to Seldovia through partnerships and local organizations, since that was language that was provided. So that's for council consideration if those are meet the intent of what was discussed, or if there are any additional changes that need to be made. And then council champions were not discussed at that time, so it'd be great just to go over each priority and nail down who is wanting to be involved and be a champion for that specific priority.
Okay, thank you, Heidi. Yeah, and I was myself, I was not able to attend the work session on that. But I think these are pretty accurate unless anyone sees anything that didn't turn out correctly on here. Looks like for the large, real quick, we'll just go run through these here maybe before we get into comments. And then it looks like for the large priorities, we still had Rojas and Swick on the as champions for improving city finances overall. Are you guys still good, Vivian and Jennifer, with remaining in that role?
Yeah, I think we had three of us. I think George Nathan was also part of that. I'm not sure, but I'm willing to stay on there, yes.
Yes, he was, Mr. Mayor. I did remove him from the sheet and the
Yeah.
categories he was, and I highlighted the ones that were already involved in each priority. And then, of course, that leaves Councilmember Kennedy and Councilmember Keithley aren't on here yet. And then if anybody wants to move around to shift priorities for that as well.
Okay, yeah, and you guys can just chime in here if you see anything.
Yeah,
on any
Mr.
of
Mayor.
those. Yep, go ahead, Jennifer.
Yeah, I'm fine with staying on my two up there, Jackaloff and the finance. And then I could also add my name to the land use management plan.
Okay,
Yep, I was actually going to put myself back on the land use again, that Sweat and I were both on. But
Yeah, Me too, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to stay on that also.
okay. So we got Heidi, did you get all three of those for the land use under medium number 2?
I did, and if we have a few more, even if I don't know if Councilmember Kennedy
Yeah,
was one
you
that
can
brought
put-
it up as well.
Yeah.
It could even just be a committee of the whole if that's an interest for the whole council to be involved in.
Yeah, that probably makes sense. So we've already got the majority of us, so I think that would be fine, putting committee of the whole on that one. Okay, and that's what we had going back up to large. We had committee of the whole for the local, secured the 20% local match for large number 2. And then the future of Jackaloff, myself and Swick, I'm fine with staying on that. It sounds like Jennifer's fine as well. Yeah, obviously we have more to come on that here soon, so we'll have to keep working on that one. Under the medium, number 1, the broadband, improve the broadband, that's committee of the whole. Obviously that's of high importance to everyone. Land use management plan, medium number 2, we just heard on that one will also be committee of the whole. And then medium number 3, secure positive outcome for the future of the value added building. Myself and Vivian are on that one. And I'm fine with staying on that one. Vivian, you're good with that one as well?
yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay. And then small number 1 for the Testamina, we've just got Sweat on there. Anyone else wish to?
You can add me on that one.
Okay, you want to go on that one, Ashley?
Yes, please.
Okay. Yep. Heidi, if you want to add Ashley to that one. And then small number 2, obtain a Selovia volunteer fire department chief and provide more department and volunteer support. So right now we don't have anyone listed as champions on that.
You could add me there.
Okay. Yep. We'll add John to that one.
I guess I'm close to that department anyway, so put me on there.
Okay. So John and Jennifer will be on that one. And then small number 3, we've got retaining and promoting Seldovia small town charm. That was myself, Sweat, Rojas, and Peyton. So there was 4 of us on that one as well. So. Okay, I can go ahead and open it up to council for any questions or comments on all of the priorities, large, medium, and small for 2023.
Mr. Mayor, if I may.
Yeah, go ahead, Vivian.
Yeah, I was not able to participate in the priorities, so I thank the council for putting this together. If somebody could elaborate a little bit on what the discussion was in the small under item 2, obtain the Soloia Volunteer Fire Department Fire Chief. If somebody could elaborate on that. I saw that there was reference to that in the survey that went out, but if somebody could just elaborate a little bit where we're going with that from the discussion y'all had.
Mayor Campbell.
Yeah, go ahead, John.
Yeah, Vivian, we discussed that a little bit, basically because of my concerns from the night before. And I had a discussion with Dr. Chambers and his concerns for not having a fire chief and not having enough volunteers. And he was pretty concerned about that. And I just looked at it as a way maybe we could support him in the effort to maybe, on our website and our other ways to help them look, at least be able to keep it in the forefront that they need help, volunteers, and that we need to find a fire chief, and maybe, we can get them to move forward that way somehow, or help them move forward somehow.
Okay, thank you. I was just wondering
Yeah.
where the discussion was. Yeah, I think it's something that we're lacking, and maybe something that we'll definitely need to look in the future about getting somebody who would head that up. But yeah, thank you, John.
Right. I realize they have their own board, but it was about maybe keeping some verbiage on the website that we need to help, and whatever other support we can do to help them.
Okay, thanks. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, thank you. And anyone else on that subject? Okay, I can just add one thing too. Yeah, I mean, it's not good that we're in a position with, I know this has probably happened a number of times over the years, that we're without, a fire chief at the moment. That's always a risk if we end up having a major fire or event, and we don't have the people to coordinate an emergency. That's going to be a definite problem. So we may have to talk about again, some additional incentives for those chief positions to be able to help out. We're going to have to come up with some sort of solution to this problem. So and maybe that's, for a future work session here, maybe sometime in the not so distant future here, that we talk about that, or get with the fire department, the board, and find out, what additional efforts are being made to fill that position. So that's just my thoughts. Okay, anyone else on that or any of the other priorities on the list? Okay, we'll go ahead and go to the public, see if anyone wishes to weigh in on resolution 23-22 on the upcoming priorities for 2023.
I'm not seeing any hands raised at this time, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, we'll go ahead and bring it back to council then for final action tonight on resolution 23-22.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion that we adopt. Oop. Did I just cut out?
Nope, you're good. Go ahead, Vivian.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we adopt resolution 23-22.
I'll make a
Okay, do we have
second.
a second?
I'll
Okay.
second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Rojas to approve resolution 23-22. We have a second by Kennedy. Any further discussion before we vote on the approval of resolution 23-22? Okay, we'll go ahead and vote. all those in favor of approving resolution 23-22, Keithley? Okay, that was, I didn't hear you, but that was an aye. I saw you, we lost your audio.
Yes.
Okay. Sweat,
Aye.
Rojas,
I,
Kennedy,
Aye.
Swick.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes, 5 in the affirmative and 1 absent. So that motion passes. Okay, thank you, everyone. All right, item N, city manager's report. Do we have anything tonight or nothing, Heidi? Or any updates or?
Just a few brief updates. I'll keep it really short. So the city did hear back from the Alaska Marine Highway and we were approved for an amendment to the contract that will allow for 3 to 4 line handlers per ferry service, with one of the positions being a hybrid position between the line handler and the ticket agent. This is good news because it means that at any time we can have 4 line handlers on the dock, and if one has to be absent, we'll still have 3. And we also will have a backup ticket agent line handler. So we have still Jocelyn in that position. Tessa has come back on board as the 4th line handler, and she'll be backup ticket agent line handler. So hopefully that helps prevent any disturbances in service in the future, because we have those positions covered, and we're always still looking for another backup line handler if you know anybody who's interested. We did receive an update from ACS that the part that they were waiting on that was supposed to arrive here, I think next or this week, has been back ordered until the end of December. Verizon and ACS are both aware of the problem, as well as the pending deadline from GCI of December 31st, no longer having cell phone coverage in the communities. So they're working on alternatives, and we'll keep you informed as we hear more. And lastly, the city was informed that there were a few surveys from the citizen survey that was put out a couple months ago that were submitted to the public comment box here on the multipurpose building, and were not included in the overall survey summary because they hadn't been picked up yet. So they've since been collected and accounted for, and there's an updated survey summary in your packet. It's at the end of the packet, and it's also been included on the website.
Okay, thank you, Heidi. Any questions for Heidi this evening?
yes, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, go ahead, Vivian.
Yeah, I guess when we're talking about that survey, what is our, it was interesting to read. What is our intent of looking that over as a group and discussing it? Do we have a plan for that?
So that was discussed, or it was brought up at the community meeting that we held, the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats meeting with the community, to help utilize both the survey and that SWOT analysis in the council retreat. So with that, those recommendations or the things that were commented on the survey were then utilized, like Councilmember Kennedy said, for the fire chief was included on the priorities list, because that was a concern that came up from that meeting and that discussion. Housing options, developing a housing options plan came up on the priority sheet this year, because that was something that was noted in the survey. And so it's just was a good tool to hear input from the public on what are opportunities that they would like to see, or areas that need improvement.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, because I see a couple of things that probably the council should address that we've talked about but haven't moved forward with. But I'll bring those up at another time. But thank you. I thought it was really good information, and the format that it was given to the council to look over. I appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Actually, another question. So what, I understand ACS and Verizon, they're working together, but what is our plan as a city in case, which I believe it won't come to this, but on December 31st, what's the plan? If nothing is there and cell phones go dead in Seldovia, do we have a plan as far as disaster.
You know, I don't think that's something that's been formed through the mayor. I don't think that's something that's been formulated yet. It was all hinging on the fact that this part was supposed to arrive. So that could be a discussion that we could start having.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr.
Yeah.
Mayor.
Go ahead.
No, I just said thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, yeah, you bet, Vivian. Yeah, and I think the communications discussion here, I mean, there's short-term options and there's, that are expensive. I guess we're just, the closer we get here, if it seems that it's gonna continue to be not a viable option here for cell phone on the 31st, if there's no definitive solution here offered by ACS, GCI, or Verizon here, then we're going to have to definitely do something in the short term for at least having, establishing emergency communications. And that I think we can come up with, but I agree. There's going to have to be more discussions here week by week as we move forward. Especially as we get into the holidays and people are scattering here, probably by the 20th of December or so. I would agree. We'll see where we're at here, week by week, and then put an update out to the council, and then start looking for some short-term solutions here. Okay, any other questions, comments from council members on the manager's report?
One thing when it comes to the cell phone service, one question I have is, will we be losing everything, or is it, because I know that everywhere else the 3G is going away for general public use, but that's because they're using that for strictly to utilize for emergency services. So does anybody know if that's the case for us come the 31st, that's just then we will be able to utilize, emergency services, but just not have access for personal use?
That's a good question. Heidi, do you know by chance, or is that something we can get an answer to that maybe tomorrow?
Yeah, through the mayor, that is something we will definitely look into.
Awesome.
Yeah, thanks for that question, Ashley.
Mhm.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, we'll go ahead and move on to item O, informational items not requiring action. The Alaska Municipal League Local Government Conference will be held December 5th through the 9th. And City Clerk Gagel will be in attendance and away from the office for that week. And then item O2, a special meeting is scheduled for December 5th, 2022 at 6 p.m. to review any completed applications received through November 30th for the city manager position. So there's just a couple days left here, and then that will that job vacancy will close here on the 30th. Item P, executive session. I don't believe we have anything scheduled for this evening. Item Q, council and mayor comments concerning items not on the agenda. Keithley.
Nope.
Okay, Sweat.
Thanks again for all your hard work down there at the city offices.
Roas.
Thanks to the staff, always putting together a great packet of information for us all, and exciting. We're getting out of here within short order of time. That's great. Thank you.
And Kennedy.
Nothing tonight.
Okay, Swick.
No comment.
Okay, all right. And I see Peyton did not join us. So, okay. Yep, just thanks to staff. Thanks everyone. And then obviously as we're moving forward here, I know Rachel's on the line, but we've got Heidi in the chair now. So we didn't have to reach back out to Rachel. So that's good. We'll just slowly continue continue with the transition here. So thanks for all the information. And yeah, obviously short meeting tonight, got some formalities out of the way, and then we'll look forward to talking with everyone next Friday to see what we've got for additional information on the CM position. So, all right, I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any objection? Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.
Okay, good night, everyone.
Yep, thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.